So today we're joined by Ben Mason, who's played for a whole host of clubs. Harry Hennings is alongside me.
Welcome back, yeah.
And Ben, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, thank you for coming. So do you want to start us off then with Wimbledon?
Yes.
Actually, no, before then,
Yes.
Sunday League. You were a Sunday League player before.
Started playing probably when we all did, when we started to kind of run around as a little kid. Went into Ascot United. So I was 4 or 5 when I went there. Like literally when you're just running around trying to learn to play football. Went through there at about 10, started to get a little bit better. Started to go into a couple clubs, whether it's like a development centre or stuff like that. Ended up going on trial to Wimbledon. Was on trial for 6 months there, which is pretty unheard of, really. Normally, you get sold a 6-week trial. At the end of it, you're either in or you're not. But it ended up being a long time. So even then, I'm 10 years old and the journey's already kind of starting, and I've kind of an insight of what's to come. Then eventually got signed.
Growing up then, did you have any role models or players that you looked up to?
Players-wise, not really. So I was a winger and like an attacker when I was younger. Now I'm a fullback, but when I got signed as a centre-half. And then so I've gone in there expecting to go and score goals like I was doing at Sunday League. 6 months, every position later, play one game, a year group down against Reading, play centre-back. So I was playing centre-mid at the time, and then they were like, look, the centre-back's injured, you've got to go there for the first quarter, because it was quarters back then. So I do that, do well, and then just went from there. So they were like people like Gareth Bale and Ronaldo, who are my idols, but then obviously that kind of had to change a little bit position-wise, but they're probably the main two.
Okay.
When you're playing Sunday League, obviously we've all sort of dipped our foot into that.
Yeah.
What was it like for you? Because you were probably better than everyone else there.
Yeah, I think I was always one of the stronger ones, I'd say. But at the young age, I was probably bang average, really.
Okay.
I'd always had that kind of grit, I suppose, to work hard or, push that extra little bit. But I think a lot of it's physical, especially when you talk about probably up to 13, 14. If you're much better physically than all these other players, like, you're just going to do better. So I remember a couple of my close mates were getting trials and much better than me, but just because they were bigger, could run fast, could kick it past players, could bully players. So yeah, it obviously evens itself out, but yeah, it's just good fun, innit? I'm sure you agree. It's just good fun playing with your mates and stuff.
Definitely. Did you ever get any praise directed just to you, or did you reach any sort of like finals, semi-finals where you stood out? And
Yeah, I remember, so where it was Ascot, we were in kind of the Berkshire League, but my last year we moved into the Surrey League, which is like much better, Surrey Youth League. We played against Farnham Town, who were like the big ones like at that age. Again, it's going back like 10 years now. I think I scored a perfect hat-trick, and then I kind of thought, I'm decent now, because instead of playing against all the teams from the old league, like, I'm doing it against like, the better ones now. So that's probably it. But in terms of praise, my dad was a coach, right? So he was like started coaching us at my brother as well at 6, 7 years old. So obviously I'd get praise from him, but nothing like, he wouldn't special me out or give me special treatment, which I think is good.
definitely.
That's definitely a pet peeve of myself when you have the coach's son.
What chance you got? Like, if they're playing one striker and I'm the striker and you're the coach's son, it's like literally doesn't matter, and that's not how it should be. But again, they're not real coaches, are they? They're just stepping in, doing a job which needs to be done, I suppose.
Just dads, aren't they, at the end of the day?
Exactly. Yeah.
Go on, you.
No, see.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Okay, so could you speak to us about like, the best moment in Sunday League that you had?
I'd probably say could be the one I mentioned, the scoring a perfect hat-trick against like the maybe best team in Surrey. That was good. Oh my God, it was so long ago. We won a lot of trophies. I think it was just fun. Like, you're really looking forward to it. Obviously my dad was a coach. My brother is younger, but used to come and train with all of us as well, which is like nice thinking back to it. Yeah, we were a good team. Like, won a lot of trophies. So.
That's all that matters, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So then to go from Sunday League to Ascot to then Wimbledon, did you sort of feel like you would gradually like sort of building a name for yourself, like making it sort of?
I think so. I think the transition's a tough time. Like, I've been in like a couple a couple, whether it's development kind of squads or like a couple trials. But then going into Wimbledon and actually having you've got 6 weeks now. Obviously it turned into 6 months, but it was that kind of real kind of chance. Do you know what I mean? And you walk in there. I'd had a Surrey trial before, like a few months before. And I remember, because this is like, this boy who I'm going to tell you about is like bleached blonde hair, mental. Ned Pepper's his name, yeah. Lovely guy. And I remember him being at the trial and like being better. But I remember doing a trial when I was good, but never got in. I never even got like a sniff. Go Wimbledon. I see him there. He's signed for Wimbledon. And I'm thinking, wow, like these players who were much better than me in these Surrey trials, I'm now going to have to come and take their place. But it almost gave me that bit of kind of familiarity. It was like, well, actually, I was in the same place at one point. Like, there's no reason why I can't. So you go in there, probably a lot of people, anyone who's jumping into that kind of environment, you're nervous. Academy is put on a pedestal, right, by everyone. Like for whatever age you are, even probably you, me, think, as a young player, you've got to be in an academy. But actually, it's not true, especially nowadays in terms of how big non-league is. The other stuff that comes with being an academy, like if you talk about transfers, compensation, it's a whole another story. But yeah, I went into my first session, it was good. And my dad's there watching, and after we're like, no, this could be it now. Like, I've had a couple trials, I've had a little sniff of it before, but like seeing what's here, seeing what I can bring, like this is a real chance. And obviously it took me a while, but I was right.
So once you get through the door and that 6 month period is over and you start to like properly get into the team, what's that like? Does that feel any different?
Well, so I was always, before the Reading game, I think the Reading game kind of changed it for me. When I played that centre back, and because it was a year below, I was just more of a leader. Don't know whether it was in my head. I was like, oh, well, these are younger. They can't be as good. Like, there's no way. So I'm a leader. I've been there a while now. So I know the players. I'm starting to think, like, no, I need to be signed now. Like, this has been too long now. Like, I'm playing well. I'm performing. But you're still on edge. You're still on edge because you're like, I'm being judged every second. But as soon as I kind of got that call up and look, we want to sign you, the day after coming in training, so much freedom. It was so weird. I've gone into that session. I can remember it so clearly. Like, we're playing football tennis and I'm trying like bicycle kicks and stuff, like in foot tennis in the warm up of the session. And like, that may not sound like some crazy thing, but I'd gone from so on edge, everything's being judged, to now that I'm signed, that weight lifted off your shoulders, you can play with even more freedom. And I'd been playing well at that point, yeah, but then going into the first game on the Saturday, worst game I'd had. And like, I couldn't...
This is just after you signed?
Just after I signed, the worst game. I remember it, Peterborough away. So a long journey, like back then it's the furthest one you're going to go to. I remember there was a small winger, tries to knock it, I just go and try and clatter him, right, basically. He just jumps over me and I'm losing the ball, everything. And I had not had really a bad game. And after that I didn't. But it was like, oh, like, this is the reality now. Like, now I'm here, it don't matter. Like, because I had that bad game. And then you start to think, oh my God, like, the coaches are going to rescind the contract offer. Like, you start thinking stuff like this. But yeah, then you kind of build up again, start to build up, and start to have the good games again. And then soon enough, you're a year or two down the line, and you're always thinking about that next contract, getting it. So, yeah.
I suppose it took quite a mental toll on you, though. Obviously, to be like, it was sort of like a wake up call that this is the reality of it now.
Yeah, I think definitely. Especially when I was younger, I got in a car and just cried.
Yeah.
Literally got in a car. Because remember, I'm like on this high of just being signed to an academy. Again, it's a pedestal. Everyone thinks this is the be all and end all. Like, you're in an academy, you're going to make it. That's what everyone thinks. Because you're not really told different. Or if someone says, well, the 1% of this 1% is going to make it, you're like, oh yeah, but it's an academy. I'm here. I'm going to stay. But yeah, then it was a bit of reality, and obviously got in the car, had a bit of a wake up call. But then I was always quite good at kind of bouncing back a little bit, dealing with that. Then you just go back and do the same. You train. You try and kind of, in a way, forget about it at that age and go back to the fact, wow, you are in an academy. You are good. And you just get used to it. Play again. Build up that confidence. Build up them good performances, and then all of a sudden you're in a much better place.
What's it like to live that academy lifestyle? Because from what we can see, it's basically the life of a professional footballer. The food, everything, which, by the way, I'll be a big fan of.
Oh, mate, well, you think that, but it's not. It's not
Really?
all that. Especially, so I was at a Cat 3 academy, right? So there's Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3. Cat 1 is obviously the highest level. That's like the Premier League clubs, some champ. Cat 2 is a lot of the champ, probably higher League 1. And then Cat 3 is like the lower level, which is League 2s, League 1s. It's all to do with money, facilities, and this and that. So where I was at a Cat 3, facilities, to be honest, were poor, really, at the start. You never really get food until you get to under 18s, like scholar age group, when you start getting paid a little bit of money. But even then, I remember, because it was during COVID, we're getting like microwave meals and stuff. Like one lad got a microwave meal, like, we were eating it, like he's just been given it. We sat watching a game, eating it, and he just picked out a maggot out his food, and just thinking like, this is meant to be an academy, and we're eating maggots in our food. But no, it's just, you just deal with it, because that's just all. Especially if you come through at a club for so long, that's kind of all you know, really. You don't know that you get to Cat 1s and you've got buffet selections of all these healthy foods and this and that, and protein shakes and this and that. But no, it's good. But at a younger age, it's not too different, because you're still all going to school normally until you get to maybe 15, 16, when you might get a day release, unless again you're at like a top club. So you're just training like anyone else after school, and then it goes to how much you want it and how much you want to do, because again, you school, you train. In between that, after that, your days off, that's up to you. If you want to get to that level you want to go, you have to do that work. You can get told what to do, but it's not going to matter because you're not with them. So it really is then, depends on the person, how they treat it, because I've seen probably over 1,000 players in an academy or around, trained with them, played with them, trialists, and 4 or 5 got pros from probably thousands I'd seen, and that's just at one club. And maybe they were the ones that put in that bit more. It's hard to say, really.
But earlier you mentioned about sort of bouncing back after that, like your first game. But then to go on and then become the captain of the academy, that's quite a big change from obviously that first sort of nightmarish game, but then to go into be a captain of your academy. So you did bounce back.
Yeah, I did. For me, on the pitch, when I kind of crossed that line, I was completely different. So off the pitch, I was more kind of shyer, like within myself. Had a couple with my mates I'd have more laughs with, but always kind of, I don't know, looking back, maybe thinking of what other people were thinking of me and judgment and stuff like that. But then as soon as I got on that pitch, that whistle went, completely different. Leader, would talk, would shout, would command, would drive the team on, drive the players on. So that was always, I don't know why, but that was always just something that was in me, and I enjoyed doing it. It made me better, made me much better, like kept me engaged. Like, I felt better. I felt like I'm helping the team. Felt like I was more part of the team I was needed because of the difference it was making. So if I'm the only one doing that, normally you get looked at and might as well be captain.
Yeah.
But then as you get a bit older, you start getting challenges. You do it in the year above. Are you going to be the same? Are you going to shrink? Or are you just going to do what you know you can do? But I did what I know I could do. First year scholar, had a few opportunities to do that, even for the year up, because obviously under 18s is you play for the 18s, but you're still an under 17. But then second year, it's different from 16s to 18s. When you're full time, there's so much more responsibilities, right? So there's all the jobs off the pitch. There's organising a team, getting everyone ready to walk to the gym, which is a 20-minute walk away. There's the food. There's everything. There's talking to the coaches when the first team need players over, or the first team need jobs done, organising to do that as well. Education side of it, making sure standards are met. And then obviously the football side as well, which I was probably more natural in terms of the leadership, the they're bringing everyone up, making sure the standards are there. And yeah, I loved it. It was a great year doing that, and we ended up winning the league, and we were the first age group and first team for Wimbledon where I was at to actually do that in that league, and there'd been some good teams and good players, but I think that was a difference, the standards we had, and the training levels and how we drove forward was top.
You said you walked to the gym, so I'm guessing they didn't have a gym at the facility.
So they had a gym, but back then it's been done up now, but back then it weren't too good, weren't too much space, and especially when you've got 2 age groups going there. So there's a gym 20 minutes away. We just walk to it, or lads cycle, or run into it if you're late. You just get it done. There's the coaches there who organised like out of, so they weren't part of Wimbledon, they were part of the gym. So again, it's then up to probably me as a captain to make sure actually we're doing it. Because if there's not I remember sometimes if you know the coach is coming down, you're like, oh, like I've got to now go and work, I've got to redeem myself now. But trying to make sure that everyone's actually doing the right things and getting where they need to go was a challenge.
All your hard work paid off though when you were awarded the Nigel Higgs Development Award for sort of youth award. So how did that feel then? So, like, you were noticed to be like one of the standouts, like you were back on the pitch in Sunday League.
Yeah, it was good. So Nigel was one of the kind of founders of the academy side there and instilled a lot of the values and stuff with Mark Robinson, who obviously was a guest on here as well, who again is another great man, and all them values and that side of thing is huge for him and for me too. So it was good. It was, to be fair, it was a kind of a new award. So it might not have, I don't know, people might not have thought, oh, look at all these people who won it before. Wow, it's good you're getting it. But no, I was definitely proud. And he gave me, like, he was there when I received it, Nigel, gave me a really good book and called Obstacle is the Way. Basically about setbacks, right? Like we mentioned, and about how you're always going to get them. It's kind of how you react to them, kind of outlook on life a little bit. So the award was obviously nice, but that book and everything that I got from that was probably a bit sweeter, to be fair.
Yeah. So you mentioned Mark Robinson. I was going to mention him.
Yes.
What did he bring to the table for you? Because I know we spoke to him. Great guy.
Yeah, so he, with Nigel, I'm sure, but he was a more prominent kind of figure for me at the academy, all the way up to when he was a first team coach, and I'm 16, 17 years old, going to train with the first team. I knew him already, so it kind of put me at ease. And when they were League One at the time, I'm going up and training with them and doing well. And he's probably important in that, but the values, everything he instilled, forward thinking, he was massive on. Like, different to a lot of coaches. He's person first, not player first, which is huge. But talking of the recognition, I was under 12s. Every year at the start of the season, you get this kind of get together at a stadium, and from under 8s to under 18s, everyone's there in one room. They do a talk and this and that, and on the screen on their presentation, they're going, I can't remember what it's called, but something player award, right? So me and one of my mates got it, and this in front of all the academy, and I'm thinking, wow, like, what I am doing is working. Again, like when I got the Nigel Higgs Award, it's like, I'm putting in the work and it's going to get rewarded. It's just a matter of when. So that award meant I went and trained with the 18s at 12 years old, which is like a crazy experience, really. And back when I was 18s, bit of reflection, thinking, if a 12-year-old came and trained with us now, I'd think, what are they doing? And like, there's no way they can cope. But then thinking back, and we talk about the leadership, like, I went in there at 12 and I'm shouting, I'm calling for the ball, I'm like giving, like, I'm telling these players, like, well done and this and that. And so when you do reflect, you think, nah, maybe I was a little bit different, and this is why I got them these different types of awards. But again, another great experience. And then even again at, I think, 14s or 15s, he brought me in again. So he's always been someone who's recognised what I'm doing, and more of me as a person as well, which is crucial. I think it's crucial in football, because it's missing now. It's missing a lot. So yeah, he's a good one.
Nowadays, we sort of see like managers that are so distant from their players, but it's important that you build relationships early on.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Thomas Frank, what he does at Brentford is he builds up the relationship with his players quickly, and he does great jobs with them. So it's important to build that relationship early on.
I think that's all. It's just crucial. If you think if I come here today and all you're focused on, you two, is getting some good content and getting me in and getting it done, getting me out, and all these guys are, the filming's good and this and that, that's not about the person, right? But I come here, obviously trying to relate this to something people can see now, but you come here, you welcome me, come and meet me and make sure everything's set up. It's person first, right? And instantly you're comfortable, you want to open up to get, for me, to get to the level I want to get to, right, and in football and be the best. For the coaches to want me to get there, make the club better, make me better, there has to be an element of being open, being vulnerable, and asking the question of how am I going to get from A, where I am now, to B. I've got to work on my weaknesses. I've got to find ways to learn, right? And that's uncomfortable because you're looking back at, whether you're watching games back where you're making mistakes or you're talking about the things you're not very good at, especially at a young age, to someone who is, in your eyes, judging you, giving you another contract. Why would I go there and make myself look bad, right? Why would I tell them about this stuff I'm not good at? Like, I should be wanting them just to see the good things, right? But for me to really maximise where I'm going to go in my development, he was open to that, and he was about the person where actually we can have a chat, we can work on them things together. It's not a problem. It's not just about that result on a Saturday or Sunday. It's about actually you developing as a person, as a player, and that comfort to do so, I think, is crucial. And like what you're saying with the environment at Brentford, obviously now he's left, but that's probably a sign of how well he was doing it and how good he is at it. But it's about the environment and the people and that positive learning, all striving to get to the same level, making sure, I'm sure he would have done due diligence on every single player, background checks, finding out how they are as a person first, because you can be the best player in whatever league it is. You come into a team as a bad egg, you disrupt it all. One player, two turns into two, right? Two will turn into 4 to 5. Then you've got a big chunk of the team all with this, whether it's like a victim mentality, negative, always looking for the excuses, right? And it's so important, and I'm sure that's what Thomas Frank would have done, where making sure that does not get into our camp, right? Yeah. And especially at that level, you're not signing 1-2 year deals, you're signing 3-4 year deals, and if you're paying a lot of money for someone, that is a big mistake to make, and a hard one to get around, I suppose.
You've obviously played for a lot of clubs in your career, but before we move on, when you were at Wimbledon, you did play against some like notable names like Jamie Donnelly. Do you remember playing against him? Yeah. Could you talk to us about what that was like?
Yeah, so that was Youth Cup, right? So second year, no, that was first year. So that was my first year scholarship. Probably two of the best moments in games for me. Talk about before the best moments at Sunday League. These were probably the best moments in the academy. We played just after COVID. So we managed to play Burnley in the third round, which is a massive game. I'd never played. Again, you talk about academies on a pedestal. You get into an academy, you put the Cat 1s on a pedestal, right? The Premier League teams, this and that. So I've not played a scholarship level Cat 1 team yet. So again, completely unknown, thinking, am I going to be able to cope? So the day before, I'm not in the starting 11 for Burnley. Left back gets injured during the session. I'm now playing left back. So I'm playing against this, oh my gosh, Cat 1 team. How am I going to cope? At right back, now I'm playing left back, completely other side. 2 hours later, game gets cancelled because of COVID or this and that, or there's been some problems. So another 3 months later, well, maybe not 3, maybe 2 or so months later, we've got the Burnley game. We win it, play really well, beating a Premier League side. Now we've got Tottenham. So we're at home. We build up. We know they've got some good players. Probably notable players is obviously Jamie Donnelly, Dane Scarlett. There was the Craig twins, I think.
Matthew Craig.
Yeah, I think he's playing in the Champ. A lot of other players playing at that kind of level. Mundle, so I was marking Mundle, who got promoted to the Prem with Sunderland, played Championship player final. I thought the best player probably came on, who came on as a sub for Mundell. I can't remember, the Spanish guy.
Yago Santiago.
Yeah, he was very good. He was sharp.
Really good. Yeah.
But again, had one of the best games I've had. Like, dominated. I think I might have got beat once, but felt good, felt really good, and that kind of cemented in me a bit more. Like, I'm good. Like, what I've been doing is working. I'm a good player, and gave me that motivation, and then some good stuff came after that, which was a positive too.
If that Burnley game had gone ahead, the one that was cancelled because of COVID, I suppose, like, no matter where you're playing, you're ready because you want to make an impression, don't you?
Yeah, you've got to. You've not got a choice.
Yeah.
It's like you get thrown in, you either kind of, I know it's cliche, but you kind of sink or swim, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because of that we had a good group, and we were kind of together. So I remember going on a Tottenham game. One guy, Abdi Ali, like, he would know this as well, but he started like not very good. Like, first 10, 15 minutes, like, we're thinking, we could be in trouble here a little bit. But like, you get together and goes on, and then one of the best players, you know what I mean? So it's about that environment as well. And again, open environment, right? So if you're getting thrown in and players are looking at you going, again, we had a couple bad eggs, but if you're looking at players are going, oh no, like, no, this can't, no chance we win now. Then you're thinking, I've got no one supporting me here. Like, I'm on my own, which you still can get away with. But when players are going, nah, you're fine. And the coaches are saying, a few years ago, we had a player, exact same situation, best player on the pitch. And you're going, actually, nah, it's going to be all right.
So could you talk to us about some loan experiences that you had, like Basingstoke,
Yeah.
for example, and then obviously Braintree followed.
Yes.
But please talk to us about Basingstoke.
Yeah. So Basingstoke was my first loan in men's football. So that was step 4 of the non-league pyramid. But before that, again, we talk about football's mental, right? It's so much stuff goes on, so much stuff you can't control. I'd gone into Cheshunt, which was step 2 club at the time, Conference South. And at Wimbledon, I'd not seen anyone at that age go into that level and get signed. But go in there, again, do what I'd always done, be myself, lead, talk, do what I do. And then they want to sign me. But then stuff goes on with, you either pick up a little injury or stuff don't get done in time. You're waiting for something to get sent over to sign. And for whatever reason, I couldn't control, doesn't happen. So then you're thinking, well, surely if I was going to get signed for a step 2 team, I'd go step 3. For whatever reason, nothing happens. So I ended up going Basingstoke, and instantly it felt like that bit of a home. Very good family club, bigger club than the league, playing the best fans in that league and probably the league above now, and playing well. My debut was in the FA Cup against Weston-super-Mare, who were step 3, just got relegated from Conference South, top of their league, and I was probably one of the better players on the pitch. And then again, you're thinking, I've arrived, I'm here, I can do it in men's football. And it's a good feeling, like going from under 18s and a bit of training with the first team to doing it against real kind of men, I suppose, is a good feeling. But that was good. We won the treble, which again is something that not a lot of people do. So we won the league on the last day of the season. I think I played about 40 games that year. We won another two cups as well. But again, there's so much stuff that is out of your control that happens, and you're already getting tested. And that's as a first year pro. So they had one of the finals was at Fratton Park. Couldn't play because my loan forms only took me up to, I don't know the date, but let's say May the 5th. Finals on May the 13th. What can you do? And all you're thinking is, how has this been allowed to happen, right? It does, happens, but still played every other game up to that point, and you win the treble and get the medal. So I suppose May the 14th, you're thinking, I've had a good season. Looking on to the next.
I suppose it's frustrating, though, isn't it, to play that whole season and play really well and then miss out in the final because it's not even an injury; it's something that you just can't control.
Of course, it is. It's frustrating, but you have to deal with it. And you have to reflect back at it. It's not really going to change you playing that game or not, as long as we kind of win it, which we did, which was which was a positive. But again, you just want to play. Like, it was against Bournemouth's 21s. So again, a lot of their players are now playing at whatever level it is. So that would have been another good opportunity. But yeah, sometimes you just have to, when it's stuff you can't control, in a way, you just have to think, you just got to laugh at it. And I suppose it's the same with anything in life, really. If there's something that you really can't control, it's frustrating. You just got to think, like, laugh, get on with it, accept it, move on.
Just quickly, because this is going back to when you were at Wimbledon. So when you were training with the first team, what is it like to get the call up to just train with the first team?
Well, I remember the first time was start of first year scholar. So I was 16. Done well in some pre-season games, and they said, look, tomorrow you're going in with the first team. I was like, oh my God, like, this is it. Like, I've got a chance now to train with a League One first team. Just come out of school. And I go there, get there hour early. I'm there stretching, warming up, doing the stuff I normally do. I knew the goalie coach because he used to play with my dad. So I speak to him. Again, he puts me at ease a little bit. You're there. And just go and enjoy it. But I go there, like, I'm doing the warm-ups. I'm sharp. I'm doing the volleys, this and that. I'm thinking, looking around thinking, I'm sharper than these lot. Like, obviously, it's so different because it's just a warm-up for them and they're probably just going through the motions. But for me, it's everything. Go there. Remember, I'm playing a possession game. I'm flicking it over someone's head. I'm just thinking, like, I should be back here tomorrow. Like, I should be playing Saturday. But it's obviously not the reality. But then after, I didn't train with him for months. And so the day after, I go to the coach and I'm like, oh, you got to get me in again, like, to my 18s coach. And he's like, just remember, like, this isn't a daily thing. Just managing my expectations a bit. Then you start to get more chances and you start to get used to it a bit more. And at that age, you just go there with that. It's kind of that novelty in it. You're training with a professional first team. Yeah, it's enjoyable.
It's important to take it day by day, right? You can't get ahead of yourself or complacent. Like, there's so many footballers that do get ahead of themselves and they end up getting kicked out of the academy for it.
Yes, it's all you can do. For me, everything has always been day by day, whether that's being rooted from, probably coming from my family to do that. But even now, for me, and it's honest, every single day, whether it's the end of the day, looking to the next one after, like, reflecting on it, can tomorrow be my best day I've ever had? Or can tomorrow's training session or game be the best I can do it, but the best I've ever had? Because why not? Like, there is no reason not. Like, even thinking of today, I've got a session after this, a few more bits to do, doing this podcast. Why can't that be that good? That is the best day I've had. Do you know what I mean? Just keeps me grounded, motivated, looking forward to the next day, being grateful for the opportunities I'm getting. And again, a lot of people, like, just don't do that. And it's not, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because it's probably quite abnormal to kind of have that kind of mindset. But the more people can get into that mindset, when it comes to it, you're putting a lot more effort in, focus. You're enjoying stuff a lot more. You're taking it in your step and taking it in your stride. It's something that has probably kept me going, really, and kept me focused, kept me hungry, and looking forward to what's to come as well.
Braintree up next in the National League
Yes.
South. What was that like?
Good. So it's before that. I'm in 2 or 3 clubs in pre-season. You're getting sent all over the place. You're getting told you've got to go and train with a team which is 3-4 hours away. You go and play in a friendly match for a team 2.5 hours away. Be one of the better players on the pitch, and then after the game you're told, oh, well, we were actually seeing if our right back who's on contract was fit or not, because I played 60 minutes, he played 30, and he was fit. So it's like, you're getting frustrated. You're thinking, I've driven a 6-hour round trip. I've done more than I needed to do to get an opportunity in everyone's eyes, and it don't happen. But then I, again, get the message to go into Braintree, so I travel up with another lad from Wimbledon, who's my mate from Wimbledon. Again, we're thinking, what we're doing, we're travelling 3 hours, but it's a good level. Go in there, again, what I've done everywhere, being myself, and I'm training well. And this is a level I've not played again. Like, even I've trained with League 1 or League 2, this is another level, right? You've got to now play matches, play games, be a part of a team properly. But I play, they want to sign me, come on from the bench on Saturday, do well against a team who's top of the league, won 4-0. And then Tuesday night, we played a team called Tonbridge. I started first 10-15 minutes, I'm a little bit shaky. But then start making some big tackles. I'm leading the team. I battered a few people, which is, I'm not saying you should go out and just batter people and stuff like that, but you're trying to be that leader. It's the standards, right? If someone's not tracking back, like, it's a standard. This is what I'm used to. Right? And it was obviously fine, and it helps the team, and everyone's happy after when you win. But I remember sitting in the changing room after thinking, like, this is it now. Like, I'm looking on FootMob, I'm checking apps, and I'm seeing my name starting. I'm seeing a win, like, in Conference South, and I'm thinking, this is the best thing ever. This is the best feeling. But I had a good manager there, a good group as well, players who've gone on to better things. Played 25 so games. Ended up picking up an injury in January time, but then I ended up getting promoted from National League South into National League, and played a big part in that. So yeah, it was good.
So obviously your first goal came against Farnborough, a club you later went on to sign for.
Yeah.
But do you remember the goal? What sort of goal was it?
Well, I remember the goal, but I remember the game, right? So first home start in a league I've never played, right? In front of fans I've never played in front of. First 3 minutes, guy's driving the ball, comes into the box, and I just clatter him. Right? Going for the tackle, try and win the ball, do not know what I'm thinking. He's taken a massive heavy touch, going off the pitch, and I give away a penalty. 3-4 minutes in, first home start, first set of fans I've played in front of, in a league I've not played before. What am I going to do?
Yeah. Right?
So I'm thinking, I'm meant to impress these fans, these coaches, the players are still new to me. We're playing against a decent team. I've just messed it up. Like, it's all gone crumbling down, right? But I accepted it, moved on, knew that I was here for a reason still, knew that it doesn't affect me as a player. And 2 minutes later, again, first home start, first set of fans, getting used to the players in a league I've not played, go and score. I'm making an overlapping run, ball gets played, gets switched, left back shoots, comes out to the edge of the box and kind of just slot it through a few players. And then my celebration is literally just pure relief, right?
Yeah.
2 minutes earlier, I had a stinker. My celebration is literally just that, like, just stood still, like, pumping, like, just relief. Everyone obviously comes around, celebrates. But that was good. Like, I think it was probably the best thing that could have happened, because you look back at kind of moments that people remember, and they remember me coming back from that, and the mental strength and how I am as a player to go and again, bounce back from that and score a goal to get a point from the game. So yeah, it was an eventful game. I just feel for my parents watching it, because they're just sitting there thinking, oh no, like, what has he done?
Yeah.
And they just said after, like, nah, someone was watching down on you that game. Like,
100%.
You needed that. So yeah, it was good.
So I don't know if you were aware that you played against Montel Mackenzie,
Yeah.
Love Island.
Yeah, for Hemel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was that like to play? Do you remember that game? Or not too much.
Yeah, it was one of my best games. Like, looking back at one of the best games I had. The manager for Hemel signed me last year. So obviously did well. To be fair, I didn't think of anything of it, to be fair.
No.
Yeah, couldn't
care less.
To be fair, yeah.
Well, so then after Braintree, after scoring against Farnborough, you joined Farnborough
Yes.
on loan. So did you feel like this was a fresh start, or did you because it's only on loan, like your focus was still on Braintree?
Well, it kind of got cut short very quick, because I picked up an injury. But then again, they wanted to, you talk about how things happen and what people remember and attributes that people want. It's that mental side. So we made a mistake, but then scored. He then watches me for the rest of the season. I'm one of his targets for the next year. Ended up signing there in the season after Wimbledon. So I suppose fresh start, but just do what you do day to day, right? We go back to the day to day. That's all I'm focused on. And whether it's being the best I can be each day, doing what I need to be doing. So nothing really changes, even though you're in a new environment. Again, it's a challenge, right? Going into any new environment. But if you've got the stuff you've done for so long and it's done you well, stick to it. So I did that and signed for Farnborough.
And what was it like to play for Farnborough? Because obviously, I think you picked up a bit of an injury, is there as well?
Yeah, well, it's the thing, I didn't play too much for Farnborough, right? So it's...
Twice, I think. Was it?
Mate, very eventful. A lot went on, a lot of stuff couldn't control, a lot of mental challenges, put it that way, a lot of setbacks, stuff you're thinking, how has this gone from here to here when I've not done too much? Just all... It's luck sometimes, injuries, opinions, managers, this and that. But no, grateful for the opportunity I had there. Didn't go how I expected it to go, didn't go how they expected it to go. But the thing with football, don't expect anything because anything can happen, right? But good club, nice stadium, good fans. Wish them all the best.
And then on loan to Chertsey afterwards.
Well, it is.
Chertsey Town,
yeah,
short spell there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So come back from Farnborough and come back from injury and I got to go on loan when I've been told I'm going to be straight back here and this and that. So again, it's a shock. It's playing with the expectations. It's a challenge, but yeah, go there. It's a local club to me, so it's perfect to build minutes because realistically, I hadn't played since January. I hadn't played probably a run of 3 games because just how the luck went in. When I picked up an injury at Wimbledon, by the time I was back, I wasn't out for 7-8 months, but by the time I was back, the loan window was done, so I couldn't play, and you get the off-season, then the pre-season, right? So 3 competitive games. I need to go out and play. So I went out and played. We got far in the FA Cup for them. We were 1 away from the first round proper. I would have had Birmingham away, but that was the furthest club's got, so I had to play a little part in that. Scored the goal to get them through in the round before. But no, good group of guys there. And
what was it like then to join Hemel Hempstead? Because after a difficult time, obviously you wanted the relief off your shoulders once again.
This is what I mean. So this is where football's mad, right? So leave Farnborough straight away. Before signing Farnborough, you get a lot of interest. You've done what you've done at Wimbledon. You've got these awards. You've played well. You've won the league. You get a call up for Ireland youth age groups and you're thinking, right, I'm in here. This is going to be fine. Like, I'm playing a level I've played a lot of games in and found it comfortable. So then you leave Farnborough, get a call from Hemel, good club, not too far, good manager. Go down there. Felt really good. Felt really, really good. It's what I needed. That was a fresh start after Farnborough. That was a fresh start. If you talk about fresh starts, that's what it was. Good group of guys. Felt myself. Felt really good on the pitch as well. But again, I play 3 games there, 4, 5 games there, do really well, manager gets sacked. New manager comes in, I'm on non-contract at the time because I'd just come in there, and it's obviously midway through the season, and he brings his own players, brings 4 or 5 of his own players, one of them is my position, brings you in and says, look, it's not really your fault, you're a good player, financially there's all these different constraints. We've brought in a player who's been his player for a few years. It's just how it is. And then you're gone again. Now you're in that same boat. You need to find another club. Didn't matter what I did because I could play well. The 2-3 sessions he sees with me, obviously the other players there as well. I'm doing really well. Like I'm thinking, because there was another right back there before the new player came in as well. And I'm thinking, look, I'm the one that is being put next to the new one. So I must have a chance here. Like, he must have watched and liked what he's seeing. I'm training well. I'm doing better than other players. But again, calls 7-8 of us in and we're all gone. So just like that, I get in the car, you're sending your message to family, the people around you, your agents, and you're thinking, I've got to find another club now. So you're out of it for a little bit. Again, for me, nothing changed though. I'm still training as I would be full-time, doing what I need to be doing. Using it as a positive, working on whether it's a business, working on new bits to learn new bits, the mental side. So it's good. It's tough though. It is tough, and it was a very, very crazy, tough year last year. Then then ended up moving on to another club after that.
I suppose it's good though that you've had this, but you're still really young. And you're eligible to play internationally for Republic of Ireland, which you did in the youth camp, I believe, a few years ago. But there's room to grow for you, isn't there? Like, you've still got at least a decade more of in the game, haven't you? So
yeah, no, definitely. I've got ages. It's about being. So people used to say it's about being patient, being impatient. Or is it impatient?
That makes sense.
Yeah. So you've got to be patient and bide your time and know that not everything's going to come at once. It might not happen how you expect it to be, but you've got to be impatient. You've got to be doing everything you can to make it happen. Right? You've got to be doing more than others. You've got to be pushing yourself, finding new ways to improve and learn. And that's the impatient side, that you act and your actions and what you're doing day to day is impatient. You need it now, but you have to be patient mentally. You have to know that it might not come today, might not come this year. Most likely it might not come in the next few years. But if you've got a goal and you believe you can do it, and you're acting as if someone who is in your position there, you're acting as if they would, mentally you've already kind of achieved it in a way. That's the big tip, to be patient and to bide your time for anything now. Is in my head, and I've been doing a lot of kind of work on this recently, and it's kind of identity based a little bit. It's something called be, do, have, right? So you be that person. So in my head, from 12 years old, I've been a professional footballer. And that's just in my head. On the pitch, I'm walking on the pitch thinking, maybe that's where I got the confidence from. Because I'm thinking, well, I'm already a professional footballer. I'm not, I'm 12, 13 years old. But then with that, and then doing what a professional footballer would do, and then eventually I had it. I signed that pro contract, right? And that's not changed for me. That's what I keep doing. Yeah.
So your company as well, and also you want a Sky documentary you're working on.
Yes,
Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so second year scholar, you turn up to training one day and there's all these cameras, all these mics, and you're thinking, what is going on here? Why is there a camera team following our team? But it was to do with South London, where the club was. It was amazing. So I think they liked what I was about as a person first, then as a player. It's about kind of a journey, me and one other guy called Q, but we ended up getting pro contracts. But then there was other clubs as well, non-league, more elite development clubs. One or two got the contracts, some didn't. Kind of that balance, all the same age. But it was amazing. Like, such a good experience. Getting used to being in front of camera. To be fair, doing stuff like this, it's exciting. You're going to places, you're doing shoots, you're on TV, and it's like not prime time, like 9 o'clock TV, but it's out there. Like, you're seeing it get advertised and stuff. You're seeing your face on the adverts, and you're thinking, yeah, it's pretty cool. In a way, you look back and think, if it happened now, I would have milked it. And not milked it, but I would have used it more as PR. I was never big on social media because, again, probably that judgment side of things, that fear of what people are going to say and this and that. But with the business side, I've been thrown into it and have to do it and use it as a way to help people, really.
So last one from me then. What's it like to balance football around a company? And do you enjoy sort of the pressure of having Achieve360 and then...
Yeah, so it's hard, right? Because... Look, football's always been my priority and is the priority, right? And when I kind of got the idea and saw actually this can be big, I thought if it ever comes to a point where it's taken away from what I'm doing in football, I'm just going to have to stop it. Whether that's a silly thing to say or not. But it's been hard. It took a while to get to a point where I could launch it and go live. But even then, I'm thinking I'd have 10 different clients signed up to whatever plan it is, making me this much money, helping this many players, and it just didn't happen, right? And then you pivot, like anything, you learn to go different ways. You're constantly learning. I've not done a business degree. I've not done this. I'm learning in my own time, in my spare time, away from football, which I'm already dedicating so much time to. And you're kind of expecting to get, well, I'm not expecting, but you could be expecting to get to this point in a year's time where you've got really successful business, but without doing the stuff, like I said earlier, without being, I can be that person, but I'm not doing enough. So it's just balancing, prioritizing time when you can, making sure what you're doing is focused, making sure what you're doing is worth the time and you're not You're not just trying to tick boxes. You're doing the stuff you need to be doing, and just enjoying it. Like, I enjoy it. It's fun. Like, I'm learning all this different stuff. I'm getting ideas, and the most important thing is I'm helping people on the journey I've been on, in different ways, in ways that haven't been done altogether. The mindset side is a big one. That's everything, right? So whatever field you're talking, whether it's you guys doing this, whether it's me playing football, business, education, whatever it is, your mental side is 90% of any high performance. It just is. Players spend hours training or hours in the gym, spend money on different types of coaches, but then they get into a game and they make a mistake and it all goes out the window. So tell me, what is the point of doing all that training when one mental error, let's call it, throws you off completely, but you won't spend time training it? So what I'm trying to do is stuff I've learned, get out there. Again, this is just on the mental side what I'm doing, but is get out there, the tools, the training, the knowledge, in a good way, in an enjoyable way. Not hours and hours of content to go through and learn, but in a way which is going to make a difference. And you can take it into you're off the pitch, because again, if you come here, and again, this is so relatable to anything, but there's not going to be a good performance or a player who has a good amount of form if they're in a bad place off the pitch. So it's just as important. It's just as important. And it's all mental. It's how you deal with things, setbacks, confidence, anxieties, fears. So I'm trying to get out there, because it's not there, it's not accessible, all in one. Again, there is obviously the coaches and the psychologists, but the accessibility and coming from someone who is closer to the young player's age, is being in their exact position and done it, is a different way of doing it. So yeah, it's good.
Last thing from me would be, in 10, 5, 12 years in the future, business or football, it's either one or the other, what would you want to achieve by then?
Well, what one do I want to be? What do you mean? Like,
If you had one goal
yeah,
in the next, let's say 10 years, either on the pitch or off the pitch, what would it be?
to get to the top level in football.
Which is Premier League.
Yeah, the highest level.
Would you go abroad?
I'd go abroad, yeah. I'd love to go abroad. One day I will go abroad. But you asked me that question. If anyone has asked me that question for the last 10 years, probably my whole life, it's been that. And getting chances and having opportunities to show it, and whether it's signing a pro contract, getting in the door a little bit, that's always been my goal. I don't think that will change. I'm not ashamed to say it, really. Like, people can look at it and say, you're playing non-league, how's that going to happen? But why not? Like, you look now at the England team from whether it's the last Euros, Ollie Watkins scoring one of the most important goals, he's playing for Western-super-Mare. So many players now, it's so inspirational seeing, and it's just getting bigger. Players are making jumps quicker, players are getting signed from non-league to champ and getting opportunities. Then you're only one league away from it, right? You go abroad to, I don't know, let's say you go second division France, you're one away from the first there. And then you could be playing European football. Football can happen very quickly, right? Either way. Very quickly, you can be thrown to the bottom and you're like, how has this happened? Then it's a challenge. It's not impossible to then get up, and mentally is the hardest thing to get back there. But football, you can get one opportunity, play one game, bang, you're in, you're signed, and you're starting the next week. That's probably why football's so exciting. And yeah, that's my goal. I'm going to do everything to achieve it, and I am doing everything I can to achieve it. And then again, you probably need that bit of luck, and try and make your own luck, and just keep doing what you can to get there. That's the football side, I'd say.
Best of luck with that, Ben. We always end up with a handshake. So thank you very much for coming on across the table.
Across the table.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And also, Harry, thank you very much.
Thank you.